All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January 15th, 2013. Let's just go over the results from the morning session. We are on the crude oil we're plus 4 ticks, on gold we're minus 10 ticks, and on the yen we're plus 28 ticks. All right, that's a net for the day of about plus $290 per contract, excluding commissions. And that puts us on this being the 10th trading day of the year, it puts us at plus $1,935 a contract so far for the 10 days. All right. So if the goal is 2 points a day, ES equivalent, then we've pretty much doubled that, just about doubled that so far in the 10 trading days. All right, let's just get right into the trades. Okay, I'm going to start at the left where the crude oil is and work my way across. I'm going to end on the yen. End on the yen. That sounds. There's a trade right here on the yen too, by the way, for anybody that's watching. 11,276. There's an opportunity to trade over there on the yen. Hang on, let me just wanted to check that. All right. Let's see, the crude oil. The way we started out with the crude this morning was like this. All right, first trade of the morning, we got short right here on the down close right here with the bearish divergence at down close off the BBC. Let me bring up the picture. I'm only going to refer to this picture a couple of times, okay, because it's the same regardless of the market. It's always going to be the same. Step 1 is the cross under the BBC. The MA1 crosses below the BBC. The BBC is the green line. Step 2 is the space in between. Let me slide it over a little. Here was the cross. Here was the space. Step 3 is the test of the BBC with a down close. This is gravestone doji. Call that a down close. Step 4 is you check for the divergence down here. Okay, here's your divergence right down here. Now, what we anticipate when we get that with the divergence is that the green line is going to work its way down into the cycle. Okay, that's what we anticipate on the trade. Now, that was my reference to the picture. Here's what happened. We got into the trade over here on the down close. We stayed in it for a while. It went up, almost stopped us out, and it came back over here. And by the time it got right over here, it had the cycle portion was down below the 50 level, and it was looking like it wasn't going to make it down here. Now my entry wasn't a great entry on this one. Normally I get a better entry than this, but my entry should have been at 94.05, and I actually had an entry down here at 94.03. So my entry wasn't great to begin with. I ended up getting out of the trade. I tried to get out at break even, and it slipped me a tick, and I got out at minus 1 tick. That was my first trade on the crude oil. My next trade over here was just like that trade, except this time I was trading with the momentum on the close down below the trend line over here. Okay, we closed below the trend line, and I got short right there. When you have the same thing as we had before, on the picture we have the bearish cross, the space in between, the attempted pullback to the BBC, but there's so much momentum it doesn't pull back to the BBC. You can draw a trend line up the bottoms, and if you have divergence like this, you still anticipate that the green line is going to work its way into the cycle, as long as you get that close below the trend line. All right, so we got the close below the trend line, and I took the short, and I took profit right down here. That put me at, I think that put me at plus 5 ticks. Over here, I slipped a tick when I got out of this trade. That put me at plus 4 ticks, and that's where I ended the morning. Okay, I didn't really look at it a whole bunch more after that. There were a few more opportunities in there, but I didn't look at it a whole bunch more. Okay, I am going to slide that one off, and we'll get to the Russell. At the end of the morning session, I didn't trade the Russell at all today, okay, but at the end of the morning session, I had said right in here, I think Jeanette had asked if there was a long trade in here, and I had said, well, it's inside a weekly trading zone, and if you get a close above this trend line, it should pop up out of the weekly trading zone. And if the ES does it, all the other indexes should follow it in this particular case. Okay, I don't always say that, but I did today. Scott, the slingshot is if you right-click and you go to indicators, it's in the imported section right here. All right, CF slingshot. When it loads, you're only going to want to turn a couple of things on. Okay, it's going to load with everything set to false. You want to set the S1 fast on to true. You better write that down. S1 fast on to true, and the S3 cycle on. Set those two things to true. Okay. Click this Create New Area button right here, and click Save as Default. Check both of those boxes and say OK, and it'll look just like this. Okay? Alright, so anyway, this morning the Russell had a bullish cross right here, a pull back down, tested the BBC with an up close right here, but we didn't have any divergence to support the trade, so we weren't going long. There was an up close right there with no divergence to support it. You could have gone long on just the up close, but we didn't. We didn't take any trades on the Russell this morning. Over here we had some very nice divergence, and this was one of those ones where there was so much momentum on the upside it didn't pull all the way back to the BBC. It went back up here like this, and I drew the trend line, and I said if we get a close above the trend line, you can see that that's right at the close of the morning session. I said if we get a close above the trend line, you should see all the indexes moving up. Okay, and well, let's just go look at what they did. That was the Russell. Okay, we didn't do anything with the Russell this morning. At the time, I think the ES was over here, so the ES moved up. This is the yen. At the time, I think the YM at 11:30 was over here. You can see that moved up. Yeah, the ES was right in here at the time, and you can see that moved up a little bit. And the NQ was right over here at the time, right at 11:30, and so that moved up from 27.11 to 27.16. Okay. Let's see. Gold is next. Gold, which is usually very good to me, was not so good to me today. The first trade we took on gold right here, we stopped out. Okay, we missed the first trade right here. Then we took this next trade that was a close above the trend line. It stopped us out pretty much to the tick. And I said if you close above this trend line, it'll probably still go, and it did. We missed that trade. We did get long over here, and we took a little bit of profit here. All right, but we still weren't green on the day. We got long here and took one tick profit, I think, and we still weren't green. We got short here and took a little bit more profit, still not green. And we took a short here and we stopped out, and so that put us down 10 ticks on the day. It got a little bit sideways in here. What it's saying right now, if this bar closes up, there's not going to be any trade in here. If it closes down, then you're going to need 2 down closes in a row, it looks like. Let me just draw the trend line. Okay, that's what you would have right there. Yeah, so if the bar closes down, as long as the black line stays below the green, there's a lot of room for this green line to move down into the cycle. Okay, but if it closes up, no trade at all. That was gold. Now, let's go over here to the NQ. All right, on the NQ, I didn't trade the NQ either. The markets that I traded today were just the crude, the gold, and the yen. All right, I didn't trade any of the other markets yet. There wasn't a lot going on in here. There was a lot of chop from the open. Look at all this mess in here. Okay, I wasn't interested in following it because I was pretty busy with everything else. There were a couple of opportunities right here, right after the open. There was a short right in here. All right, a short here, a short here, a long opportunity right here that really didn't go anywhere, a short opportunity right here, and here, and here, all using the same exact thing. Okay, that's pretty much, that's one thing to take away from all this. If you don't take anything else away, we're using the same exact setup across all these markets, and we're using the same exact time frame on all these markets. So that screenshot that I showed you, this one right here, you see this screenshot is, let me bring us over here. Okay, this screenshot right here says a bearish cross at the MA1 below the BBC. The MA1 is a blue and red line, below the BBC is a green line, like this right here. Pull back up and test to the BBC, like this right here, and a down close, or a close in the direction of the cross, like this one right here. That when you have the divergence, that's where you enter the trade. All right, I hadn't highlighted that one, but it would be right there. That's the same exact thing as we have in this picture, and this picture is crude oil on a 4-tick range. Crude oil on a 4-tick range. Okay, So the same thing works. This is the NQ on a 4-tick range. It's the same exact stuff over and over and over and over and over again, regardless of the market. Okay. Let's see, if we were to go through all this, there were some setups in there, but it was all the same stuff over and over again. Okay. Where it is right now, we don't have any divergence to support any long trades just yet. If it did pull back down to the BBC, we would have bullish divergence, and you could get long on that. Okay. If we drew a trend line down here, there would be nothing because the green line's already up into the cycle on the slingshot by the time you got the close above the trend line, so there would be nothing in there. So what you would be looking for now would be, there's your trend line, here's your bullish divergence. Now the things that are critical to this whole thing, if we bring this picture back over, the BBC, all right, because everything uses the BBC as a point of reference, and the slingshot. You need to have the slingshot, and you need to have the BBC, and the MA1 obviously, because if you have a bullish cross, then you're looking for longs. If you have a bearish cross, you're looking for shorts. But the BBC, the MA1, and the slingshot, that is what you need for this. All right. In this case right here, we have bullish divergence in place right now. A close above this trend line would be something you could take. And this on the NQ, there it is right there. That is a trade that you could take right there. 27.15.75. I don't have my NQ DOM up. I replaced it with a soybean DOM this morning. But you would anticipate you're going to break this this resistance right here. And broken resistance, if it happens, if it breaks, it will usually be followed by a really powerful trade. Okay. Now, on the ES, let's blow up the ES and look at this one. Let's see. This morning, it was really nothing you could do until right over here, right here. All right, and when that happened, I had said I expected it to get up to about right here. All right, because when this was coming together, the green line was just about into the cycle already. It was just about into it. So I didn't anticipate much from it. And I was looking for it to get just up to here, maybe up to the swing high, but I wasn't anticipating much more. Then the Russell started to move up, and then everything started to move up with it. All right, so there's not much else to say about the ES today. It was a slow, very slow grind up. Not a lot of opportunity. The YM had some opportunity today, a few small ones in here. Okay, but it was very choppy, just like the NQ was, and the ES for that matter. This was a long trade in here. Simon, I don't know if you're listening right now, but this morning you had asked about this right in here, and I said it would be right here. And then when everything started to move up, I said that that would be good. Now at 11:30, when everything started to move up, I said that would be good for the YM trade, and it has been. Okay. Now, the big winner of the day was the yen. Let's go back here. We took 3 trades on the yen, I think, and they were all winners. We missed all this stuff on the way down here. Okay. But what we did get was right in here on the yen. When price pulled back up, tested the BBC, and gave a down close right in here with bearish divergence. All right. I took the short off the BBC in here and eventually took profit down here. I was looking for it to get down to the swing low. All right. But I just took profit down here. It actually did get to the swing low. I got within a tick of the swing low. Because the cycle was so far into this, the green line was so far into the cycle, I had taken profit pretty early in there. Okay, the next one over here, we shorted again. This time was a close off the BBC and below the trend line right here. All right, you see we had some blue on the cycle, so we needed to get below the trend line. So we closed down below the trend line. We shorted it. And we were waiting for the thing to close down below the MA1. You can see right in here, this MA1, the blue and red line. It got down below it, and it got down below it, and we were looking for the close down below that thing, and it just wouldn't come, and it wouldn't come, and it wouldn't come. We were looking for that thing to happen, and it didn't happen. We had moved our stop to +1 tick on that, and it ended up coming up and taking us out at +1 tick. We were within 2 ticks of our profit target. Our profit target was right down here, and we were within a couple ticks of it a couple times, but anyway, we ended up getting 1 tick on that. Then it changed directions and it moved up here. Okay, now when it changed directions, just looking at this, it's like a 50% retracement here. This spot right here is actually 62%, 68%, something like that. I'll do it in a minute. But when it moved up here, it came down and it gave an up close right here. All right, this was the trend line. I had drawn the trend line in, and we needed to close above the trend line. The up close on the trend line was 283, 11,283. I got long in here at 11,282. Okay. We had nice bullish divergence, and we're looking for the green line to work its way up into the cycle. Okay. Whenever we have this kind of divergence, like we do right now, for instance, we're looking for that green line right now to work its way down into the cycle. Okay. In this case, we're looking for it to work its way up. And we got long in here, and the thing just, it went sideways for a little while, and then it just took off. And we took, I think we took 20 ticks profit on that, 21 ticks profit, I think is what we took on that. And that, my friends, was our morning in the live trading room. All right. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for our free trial. All right. All we ask for is your name and your email address. In our free trial, you get 5 days in our live trading room. You get access to Dwayne and I. You get access to all the indicators and the charting platform. You get a good look at it. You get a good look at everything that we do for the whole week. As long as you show up, you get a good look at everything that we do for the whole week. If you don't show up, well then, you know what? You're not going to get a good look at it. And that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up this recording right here. Everybody that is on the free trial right now, if you want to become a partner, check your inbox tonight, tomorrow morning. There should be something in it tonight or tomorrow morning. And if you... Sorry, I was distracted. If you want the info, before tonight or tomorrow morning, just send me a quick email at support@cfrn.net and say, please give me the partner info so I can become a partner as soon as possible. Or just say partner info. That'd be good. It was not where I indicated. Okay. Let me stop the recording here for just a minute, Scott, and then I'll show you. All right, again, go to www.cfrn.net/apply to sign up for the free trial.